Karrueche Tran unexpectedly found herself caught up in the explosive 2024 feud between her ex-boyfriend Chris Brown and rapper Quavo. While Tran had no desire to be involved in the dispute, her name became a point of focus due to the complex history she shares with Chris Brown. For years, Tran and Brown's relationship has been subject to the media's scrutiny, particularly after their breakup in 2015. Since then, both have moved on with their lives, but their past interactions continue to captivate fans and onlookers. The recent video from Coachella showing Tran and Brown interacting sparked a wave of reactions from the public, with many wondering if this marked a potential reconciliation or simply a cordial moment between former lovers. Clip, which showed Tran and Brown laughing and exchanging a few words at the festival, was the first time the two had been publicly seen together in years. Their casual exchange left fans both surprised and curious, with some questioning if it was a sign of a possible romantic reunion. However, it is important to acknowledge that these interactions are often overanalyzed by the public. In truth, it's far too early to draw any definitive conclusions about their relationship based on one fleeting moment captured on camera. Speculation about a rekindled romance is natural, but there is not enough evidence to suggest that the two are more than just amicable exes catching up. Despite the rumors, it is essential to note that Karrueche Tran has moved on from her past with Chris Brown in her own way. She has been vocal about the impact their relationship and its aftermath had on her, and how she worked hard to overcome the public and personal challenges she faced during their time together. While she hasn't been fully open about her feelings toward Brown in recent years, it's clear that she is focused on building her career and personal life. Over time, Tran has established herself as a respected actress, model, and entrepreneur. In fact, while many fans might be curious about the current dynamics between Karrueche and Chris, it is crucial to acknowledge how far both individuals have come since their highly publicized breakup. Tran has been open about her efforts to heal, and while there were dark moments during their split, she now appears to be living a life separate from the shadow of her past with Brown. Chris Brown, too, has moved forward, navigating his career and personal life as a successful and often controversial figure in the music industry. 2024 Coachella clip was a reminder of how public figures, especially those involved in high-profile relationships, are subject to intense scrutiny. In this case, the fact that Brown and Tran were seen interacting again after so many years led to a flurry of reactions from the public. For some, it was a sign of old feelings resurfacing, while others viewed it simply as a sign of mutual respect. However, the fact remains that we only have a brief moment captured on video, and it's hard to draw any conclusions from a fleeting exchange that could have been anything from a simple hello to an awkward, forced interaction. It's easy to jump to conclusions based on assumptions or past behaviors, but the reality of the situation might be far less dramatic than what social media often portrays. While this moment caught the attention of many, there's more to this story than the casual interaction at Coachella. Fans have been wondering if Karrueche Tran will attend one of Chris Brown's upcoming shows during his Breezy Bowl XX Stadium Tour, a major event marking his 20-year career in the music industry. The tour will take him to several cities across the globe, with special guests such as Summer Walker, Bryson Tiller, and Jhené Aiko joining him on the road. It's an event that will certainly be a celebration of Brown's achievements, and many fans are curious if Tran will be a part of the festivities in any capacity. The Breezy Bowl XX Tour is a monumental occasion for Chris Brown, and as such, it has the potential to draw attention to the broader dynamics between him and his past relationships. While Tran's presence at the concert would undoubtedly make headlines, it's important to remember that the two of them have both grown as individuals and have likely matured in ways that make such a reunion less about romantic tension and more about shared history. Whether or not Tran attends the concert remains to be seen, but it would be an interesting chapter in the story of their post-breakup relationship. Turning back to the Coachella video, the interaction between Karrueche Tran and Chris Brown has sparked plenty of discussion online. Their on-again, off-again relationship from 2011 to 2015 was filled with highs and lows, and their breakup was particularly tumultuous. In the aftermath of their split, Karrueche Tran filed for a restraining order against Chris Brown, citing accusations of abusive behavior and controlling actions. This legal action was one of the most significant moments in the couple's history and set the tone for the way their relationship would be remembered by the public. Despite the breakup, the allegations, and the legal battles, Chris Brown and Karrueche Tran have remained part of the pop culture conversation. Their relationship was frequently in the news, and Tran was often depicted as the victim of a toxic dynamic. The restraining order granted to Tran in 2017 marked a new phase in their post-relationship interactions, and for many it seemed like the final chapter in their tumultuous history. But as time has passed, the two have clearly found a way to coexist without the same level of public drama that once defined their connection. In recent years, both Chris Brown and Karrueche Tran have managed to move forward in different directions. Brown has continued to focus on his music career, which has remained largely successful despite controversies. Tran, meanwhile, has carved out her own niche in Hollywood, balancing acting and entrepreneurship with a focus on self-care and personal growth. Although there have been periods where their paths crossed again in the public eye, they have largely been able to maintain their own separate lives. The exchange at Coachella, while brief, does seem to indicate that Chris Brown and Karrueche Tran have managed to move past some of their previous issues. Both have matured and evolved, and perhaps the festival marked a moment of mutual understanding, free of the tensions that once clouded their interactions. For those who have followed their journey, this moment may seem like a step toward reconciliation, but it is far too early to determine what it really means for their relationship going forward. Of course, it's important to remember that the world of celebrity is often more complicated than it appears. Public figures are rarely afforded the luxury of privacy, and every interaction, no matter how innocent, is subject to intense scrutiny. In this case, while some fans may view the interaction between Chris Brown and Karrueche Tran as a sign of something more, there is little concrete evidence to suggest that their relationship has shifted beyond friendship or mutual respect. What matters most is how both individuals continue to move forward with their lives. Karrueche Tran has shown incredible strength in navigating the challenges she faced during her relationship with Chris Brown. She has rebuilt her career and focused on her own growth, which is an admirable feat considering the circumstances. As for Chris Brown, his music career continues to thrive, and while his personal life has often made headlines, his musical achievements remain undeniable. The two have clearly put their past behind them, and this interaction at Coachella could simply be another sign of their maturity and ability to coexist without letting past drama define their present. At the end of the day, it's essential to take a step back and avoid jumping to conclusions. Public is often quick to draw conclusions based on fleeting moments, but there's much more to this story than what appears on the surface. Only time will tell if Karrueche Tran and Chris Brown will continue to maintain a friendly relationship or if this brief interaction marks the beginning of something more significant. For now, it's important to let both individuals live their lives without the constant pressure of speculation and judgment.